Hey, it's A Humble Collector here. Today's video, we're taking a look at the 4-panel death card of Johann Thalhammer. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So panel 1 here, we have, "Let my soul die the death of the righteous, and my end will be like theirs." And moving to the interior, we have a nice photo of Johann, and then at the bottom there, "A young life has ended in a terribly serious battle, and he lay pale on the grass, the angel of death watches. But the soul lifted itself up to the Lord God, and the choir of angels sang wondrous songs to him. Enter the joy of heaven, you brave German hero. You have faithfully served the Fuhrer. Now serve the Lord of the world." And moving to panel 3 here. "He gave his life for the life of his fatherland, in prayerful memory of Johann Thalhammer, a farmer's son from Kieferling, Obergefreiter, which is like a corporal in an infantry regiment, bearer of the Iron Cross second class, participant in the campaigns in Poland and the West, who suffered a heroic death for his fatherland near Korsov, Russia, at the age of 27. And then RIP. Now, interestingly, I was able to find a casualty record from Johann, and continuing a bit of an odd theme that I didn't see coming for this month, we keep talking about the 57th Infantry Division and the 212th Infantry Division, and Johann here was a member of the 57th Infantry Division, in this case, another member of Infantry Regiment 199, which is the List Regiment. So, we've talked about it in the other videos, but the List Regiment is the regiment that bears the honorific of the 16th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment for World War I, which was the unit that Hitler served in. Now, because of this, the men of the List Regiment got to wear a cuff title, which was kind of a special thing. Not every unit got them. SS units had cuff titles, Grossdeutschland had cuff titles, and then the List Regiment also had cuff titles. And apparently that's like the only perk they got from being, the Fuhrer's old regiment, I guess. It doesn't seem like they really got any extra equipment, and as we've seen in several of these videos, they took some pretty heavy casualties on the Eastern Front. As far as I can tell, there's not a book specifically about the List Regiment in World War II. There's a pretty good one about them in World War I that I've referenced in a previous video. But hopefully, I find them an interesting unit just for that reason. I'm hoping someday in the far future, if I have enough cards, I'm able to get some other document sources, like the unit history for the 57th. I might be able to put together a larger format video, or maybe even a book on the List Regiment, but that's probably decades off at this point. But anyway, Johann was born on April 27th, 1914 in Kieferling, and was a member of the 11th Company of the List Regiment, being killed by a headshot at Korsov, Ukraine, on June 29th, 1941. So, place of death matches what's on the card there. Now, as I said, I have cards and references in my collection of several other members of the 57th Infantry Division. So, Ignaz Fleckinger was a Schütze in the 11th Company of the List Regiment and was killed by an artillery hit to the left thigh and foot at Le Montbelier, France, on June 5th, 1940. Xavier Hagenetter was an Unteroffizier in the 5th Company of Infantry Regiment 217 and was killed by a gut shot at Amatray, France, on June 7th, 1940, so just 2 days later. Aloy Pregler was an Oberschütze in the 13th Company of the List Regiment and was killed by a shrapnel strike to the back of the head at Polava, Ukraine, on October 9th, 1941. Werner Bever was a Gefreiter in the 164th Infantry Regiment and was obliterated by artillery at Voronezh, Ukraine, on September 17th, 1942. Karl Freundorfer was a Feldwebel and Zugführer in the 13th Company of Grenadier Regiment 217 and was killed by a headshot at Boromya, Ukraine, on August 14th, 1943. Johann Auer was a Gefreiter in the 3rd Company of Grenadier Regiment 217 and was killed by a head injury at Kniv, Ukraine, on December 4th, 1943. Johann Friedel was a Gefreiter in the 1st Company of the List Regiment and was killed by shrapnel strikes to the left upper arm, upper leg, and knee at Cherkasy, Ukraine, on January 29th, 1944. And finally, Georg Scheurer was an Obergefreiter in the 3rd Company of Divisional Group 57 and was killed by a perforating chest shot on August 21st, 1944. So continuing at the bottom of the card here, "My Jesus Mercy, 300 Days Indulgence. Sweetheart of Mary, be my salvation," another 300 Days Indulgence. And moving to the back here, "Look down upon me, good and gentle Jesus. While before your face I humbly kneel, and with burning soul pray and beseech you to fix deep in my heart lively sentiments of faith, hope, and charity, true contrition for my sins, and a firm purpose of amendment. While I contemplate with great love and tender pity your 5 most precious wounds, pondering over them within me, and calling to mind the words which David your prophet said to you, my Jesus, they have pierced my hands and my feet, they have numbered all my bones." Yeah, overall, really interesting card. Always interesting to be able to tie back to the larger divisional history and what they were doing, but also having another member of the List Regiment for hopefully that larger future project is good as well. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll see you all again very soon.